Hey guys, so today I wanted to bring back an older series where I look at a concept car and then compare that concept to the real model that actually got released for consumers to purchase. I've already done 5 parts to the series quite a long time ago, maybe over a year ago, but I already did cover the Charger, Challenger, 300, Magnum, and Avenger. So here's part 6. You can check those other videos out in the top right corner or in the description, and make sure to comment which car you'd like to see featured next. You can find the video outline on screen now, and we'll get right into it. So let's look at the concept first. Jeep decided to bring back the Gladiator nameplate after about 13 years without a pickup in their lineup, the last being the 1992 Jeep Comanche. The Jeep pickup started way back in 1962, introduced for the 1963 model year. The Gladiator was a conventional body-on-frame pickup design, sharing its basic frame architecture and front end with the Jeep Wagoneer 4-wheel drive station wagon at that time. The Jeep pickup would be modified over the years, but it impressively survived for more than 26 years on a single platform. So, at the 2005 North American International Auto Show in Detroit, car enthusiasts and Jeep fans were able to take a look at Jeep's newest creation, their 2005 Gladiator concept. Jeep's director of design, John Scalia, said that the Gladiator was, quote, just testing the waters on whether or not it's okay to bring a pickup truck back to the brand, end quote. Instead of being a true midsize like the Dakota, its exterior dimensions and curb weight were closer to more compact trucks like the Chevy Colorado, GMC Canyon, or Ford Ranger. And instead of using the Dakota platform, it got a unique body-on-frame architecture. It also only had 2 full-size doors. The other 2 opened the other way and were much smaller. There is 1 rear-size door on the passenger side, and the driver's side has no door due to the spare tire, so it gets a tiny little door that provides access for you to reach into the cabin. Jeep would call this a flexible utility truck, and they made it look that way, starting with armor green paint, dark slate gray fender flares, huge off-road tires, and the familiar 7-slot grille. It looked ready to go to war. The rear has large writing stamped in the tailgate reading Jeep, and they've mounted the spare tire on the left side of the vehicle, which adds a very unique look. Other great features that stay true to the flexible utility name would include removable doors and canvas top for an open-air concept, a fold-down windshield, a stowaway rear seat cushion, and expandable truck bed. Those features really gave it some utility and handiness that would truly challenge any other truck on the market at the time. More on that expandable bed, where Jeep had a new take on the midgate concept, which is usually some type of panel that can be folded away to make more space at the back of trucks. For the Gladiator, the rear window rolled down and the bed would expand 1 foot, from its normal 5'8" to 6'8" inches. The seats could also fold away, stored under the pickup bed, extending it further to a whopping 8 feet 11 inches. The interior got some weatherproof seats and was designed to just be hosed out when necessary for cleaning. It had all your modern tech at the time, like a GPS navigation system and multimedia system. Of course, the back seating area is quite tiny, best suited for children. The driver's side got a cabin storage access panel, and there was a lockable storage box in front of the rear wheel where the jack was also stored, so that's kind of cool. Moving on to the power and performance, the Gladiator got a Via Motori Italian engine, a 2.8-liter 4-cylinder common rail turbo diesel, making 163 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. As you can see, it was torque-heavy for off-roading and fuel economy. This had MPG ratings in the low 20s on the highway, 18 city, 22 highway, so it's not bad for what it is. That was paired with a 6-speed manual transmission, part-time 4x4 command track system, front and rear locking differentials, a front winch, and full skid plates. Had this gone through to production, Jeep could have also played with the idea of offering some other engines, like the Liberty's 3.7-liter V6, or the 5.7-liter Hemi V8, found in the Commander and Grand Cherokee if it fit in the engine bay. The Gladiator was also impressive when compared to the Wrangler, doing better than the Wrangler Unlimited at the time in all but one of the off-road tests. The front and rear suspension were multi-link design, with coilover shocks in all 4 corners. The front had a solid axle, while the rear had a trailing arm system. The tires were huge, 34 inches in diameter, with 265/75/18 tires mounted on 18 by 8 inch wheels. Some of the release stats were a 1,500 pound payload, ground clearance of 13.7 inches, breakover angle of 23.2 degrees, approach angle of 47.6 degrees, and departure angle of 38 degrees. And the weight, a pretty chunky 4,150 pounds. Jeep designed the Gladiator to be produced in either right or left-hand drive, and it seemed destined for production. Jeep seemingly had the right formula for a concept. It made sense as they had produced trucks in the past, and could play off of their rich pickup truck history, and they could have used platforms and parts from the Dodge Ram full-size or Dakota midsize pickups. It ticked all the boxes for a Jeep. It had the right looks, the utility, and the off-road capability. A Gladiator return would also generate excitement for the brand, hopefully selling more of the other vehicles in their lineup and gaining a greater market share. Everyone thought the Gladiator would soon arrive at dealerships, but it did not end up making it, as we now know. Jeep seemed very hesitant to re-release a pickup, and there were also 8 different competitors for compact and mid-size light truck buyers, including the Chevy Colorado, Dodge Dakota, Ford Ranger, GMC Canyon, Honda Ridgeline, Mitsubishi Raider, Nissan Frontier, and Toyota Tacoma. So the Gladiator was done. When talking about the truck, Trevor Creed, the senior VP of Chrysler Group Design, said, quote, "Jeep Gladiator is an authentic statement of the Jeep brand heritage that explores what shape and features a modern Jeep pickup might have. This vehicle blends classic cues with contemporary functionality and innovation. The timeless silhouette, even the bedside-mounted spare of classic Jeep pickups, is merged with a modern chassis, a turbo diesel powertrain, and a flexible, expandable truck bed." End quote. So despite all the hype and opportunity for this concept, it didn't make it. So now let's change gears and look at the Jeep Gladiator JT production version, with its first model year coming for 2020, so this year. This was very similar looking to the concept, except that it actually gets 4 full-size doors, with styling cues from the Wrangler JL. This time around, instead of more of a compact truck like the 2005 version, it can be classified as a midsize. Now the pricing was never released to the public for the concept, but the new Gladiator began at $33,545 for the sport model and rises up to $51,745 for a high altitude before any options, and those are 2021 pricing. Just like the concept, the Gladiator has a body-on-frame design, and that's both lightweight and stiff and durable with a high-strength steel frame. You can see the 7 trim levels on screen. Upon release, there was also a $62,310 Rubicon Launch Edition, where Jeep made just 4,190 of them, giving it special badging, wheels, red stitching, and more. And the 419 pays homage to the area code of Toledo, Ohio, where this truck is built. Looking at a few of the nicer trim levels, the North Edition is for those in colder climates, adding the cold weather group standard with heated seats and steering wheel, remote starter, and all-weather floor mats. Jeep recently added the Mojave, the first desert-rated Jeep model with 33-inch all-terrain tires, unique wheels, Fox 2.5-inch internal bypass shocks, orange tow hooks, an off-road plus button, and locking rear axles at high speeds. The inside even got heat-reflective material in the seats to withstand extremely hot climates. And there's also the new high-altitude edition for 2021, which is now the highest trim level, with 20-inch black alloy wheels and all-season tires, front and rear fender flares, LED front and rear lighting, and tons more premium features. So that's basically the most fully loaded luxury model that you can get. Back to the design, it still got the signature front slots, but they were widened a bit for more airflow and engine cooling. Unfortunately though, that cool-looking side-mounted spare tire has now been moved under the cargo bed. Just like the concept, there's a removable roof, but you get 4 options including 2 different soft tops and 2 different 3-piece hardtop variations with removable aluminum roof panels. All these years later, it's still the only truck with a removable roof. The production version also has fully removable front and rear doors, and a windshield that can be lowered. The cargo bed only comes 5 inches long, but it does have similar extension capabilities to the concept, where the bed can be equipped with a rear folding tonneau cover with what they call a weekend warrior mode, so that will close the tailgate and open just one section of the tonneau cover to haul longer items. Of course, the interior is vastly different here than the concept after 15 years. This is chock full of nice new tech. There are 3 different infotainment systems, but the top models have the Uconnect 4C with the 8.4-inch touchscreen, and navigation, Sirius XM, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. All the models other than the Rubicon Launch Edition get an 8-speaker audio system with a 552-watt amplifier and subwoofer. A front-facing trail cam is also mounted in one of the front grille slots, so the driver can see that footage on the Uconnect screen, as well as other good stuff, like off-road pages to see some off-road statistics. Some unique features include a flat rear load floor for carrying longer, taller items inside, lockable storage underneath the rear bench seat, and a removable Bluetooth wireless speaker that charges in a docking station behind the rear seat. The powertrain is honestly pretty similar in terms of performance, considering that it has been 15 years since the concept. At the time of launch in 2020, the only engine available was Chrysler's 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 gas engine with variable valve timing and electronic stop-start, good for 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. So if you're keeping track, that is 122 more horsepower and 35 pound-feet of torque less than the concept. Jeep has also added a 3-liter EcoDiesel turbocharged V6 that is now going to be optional on some 2021 models for a hefty charge of $4,000. With the extra cost does come some extra power, not in the horsepower as there's only 260, but there is 442 pound-feet of torque. So that's 97 horsepower and a whopping 147 extra pound-feet of torque over the concept. The production Gladiator has a 6-speed manual option like the concept, but also gets the ZF 8-speed automatic as well. Of course, 4-wheel drive is standard. The 3.6 is rated for 16 city and 23 highway MPG, so again, fairly similar to the concept. The new high-altitude model has the biggest and widest wheels and tires offered, 20 by 8-inch rims compared to 18 by 8-inch for the concept, and 275/55 R20 compared to 265/75 R18. I couldn't find the towing numbers for the concept, but on the production one, it is capable of 7,650 pounds. The payloads are about the same, a maximum of 1,500 pounds on the concept, and 1,750 on the real thing. The production Gladiator is way heavier though, 4,812 pounds compared to just 4,150. With the Pentastar V6, the Gladiator can do 0 to 60 in 7.3 seconds, quarter mile in 15.6 seconds, and hit a top speed of 98 miles per hour, limited by the tires. Those numbers were unfortunately never released for the concept. Finally, as for off-roading and suspension, the Gladiator still uses solid front and rear axles, which are Dana 44s. The Wrangler's 5-link coil spring suspension is used in the front, but the rear has a design unique to the Gladiator with a 5-link suspension with forged steel trailing arms and a panhard rod. The suspension is tuned for a balance of off-road handling and off-road capability, but that can mean that there's some vague and sloppy steering on regular pavement. The truck can also electronically disconnect sway bars for increased wheel travel when off-roading. If we use the stats of the Mojave Gladiator version, it does fall behind the concepts, as you can see on screen, with things like the approach angle, departure angle, ground clearance, and breakover angle. So for my final thoughts, I'm glad that Jeep stayed true to their original Gladiator idea. As we can see by some of the other episodes, a lot of times the concept is really cool and awesome, and then the manufacturer kind of tones it down quite a bit for the production version. It's amazing to me how similar these two are though, after 15 years. It's as if the concept stepped in a time machine and got spit out more modern looking in 2020. The front end of the Gladiator concept was dominated by all of the styling cues of the Wrangler JK, and the exact same thing happened in the present day as it copied the Wrangler JL this time. I do think the two full-size doors definitely give the production version a more filled out and longer look from the sides, but who doesn't love that side-mounted spare on the concept? Jeep fans had to wait a long time after the 1992 Comanche was gone to buy a pickup, and then another 15 years after the 2005 concept, but now that wait is over. Well, that's the end of the video. Which truck do you prefer, the concept car or the real thing? Let me know down in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this series, and let me know which car I should do next. Thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe for everything Mopar, and I'll see you guys in the next video.